Alright guys, welcome back to another playthrough gameplay review of a video game that's new to the Quest Store called Vermillion. Now this is a painting game, circa Bob Ross, if you want to call it that. But it's like a painting game I've never seen. It is ridiculously detailed. Turn around here so you can see my setup, and just from the pure amount of brushes that you can use to the types of canvases, the size of the canvas. When you start the game, you can pick how big of a painting you want to do or how small of a painting you want to do. Let's do a big one. Put your hand in the middle, and there it is. There's my canvas. We have I don't know what it's called, but that little chemical to make your paint more transparent. It's like a paint thinner. There it is. You can test paint colors on this board and then clean it off. You have rags that you can pick up and wipe off mistakes. You have all these different types of brushes, paint spatulas, so you can mix up your paints. I want to add some blue to that. I want to add some light blue to that. So on your hands, you've got some controls. So if I were to pick up black and add a little bit to this, maybe a little bit more over here, feather it out a little bit. Now you can see on there I've got paint. I can hit the A button and it goes away. So then I can scoop up some paint from over here. A button again. A button again, to mix and match to make whatever it is that perfect color is that you're looking for. In my case, it's baby puke yellow. But then you can also hit the Y button, on the top button on your left controller, and it resets your palette, so you don't have to worry about wiping it off or figuring out a way to clean it off. You just have two quick buttons that let you do that. That does it for you. Let's put that back down, grab a brush, and it's grip button to grab the brush. You can swap the bristles with left and right. So if you want short, flat, smooth, you can kind of see that they are in fact different. If you're a painter, I'm sure this would make much more sense to you. But I like the fact that you can scale up these brushes. So if I wanted to use this thin kind of cutting brush, I can make it as big or as small as I want, which makes a huge difference. So I can even just use the brush, same thing, hit the A button, and make myself a different color. All right, and then take that to the canvas, and the paint strokes are amazing. Like, it will feather it out if I keep going over top, and you can see the paint disappears from my brush, so I need to load up more paint. Didn't load up enough, pushing harder into the palette loads up more paint. As you paint, you can see the brush lose paint. There, see, it's almost gone. There, only a little bit left. And I'm out. The level of detail is amazing. Like I said, I don't know how to paint, but I think it's really cool. And it does the same thing with every type of brush. Well, some brushes aren't customizable, actually. I think it's just these white ones that you can change the bristles, change the shape. And do crazy things. And even remembers where you had it. So if you wanted to leave it big or leave it small when you put it back on your easel or on whatever this thing's called, it's there. You can even take the paint cloth to clean up some mistakes. So it feathers it out, doesn't make it, it's not an eraser, but it makes it easier for you to paint over if you made a mistake and you wanted to paint over that section. Amazing. Everything in here is movable. You can arrange this space however you want. So I like Stationary Guardian, and you can manipulate all of this stuff. I can make it go down if I wanted to paint like more of a sitting. If you wanted to sit at a desk, you could set it up like this. You can put it more at a straight angle. You can move, all these little handles are what's adjustable. So now I can move my paints closer to me. I can move them right onto this side. And then if you're a tall guy, you can make them bigger. If you're sitting down in a chair, you can drop it lower. And same with the paint palette. This drawer can be moved around anywhere you want, any height. And look at the mechanics on the heights. That is just cool. The level of detail, like I said, is amazing. You can even use the palette in your hand and leave it in your hand the whole time. Grip button to pick it up, and then you can let go and it just stays there. Again, top button, left hand, cleans the palette. And then you can take your brush and become Bob Ross. Right hand cleans the brush. Oh, see? That was dumb. Now I gotta do it again. Easy ways to fix your mistakes. And once you get the hang of where you put everything, I think it's going to make a big difference in how you design your colors, how you bleed things into each other. Amazing. And it even adds thick paint. With these different types of brushes, you can leave it goopy if that's what you're looking for in your drawing or your painting or whatever it is you're doing. I could spend hours on the level of detail on this. It is mind-blowing the first time I went in here. Let me show you another example. So let's make a little dark greeny blue. And so you want to test this on a white background first. We can do it on here. Maybe even experiment with a brush to see if it's going to give us the look we want. And if it's not, you grab this little bar, erases everything so you can keep going and start over again. Something else I wanted to point out, when you use like a brush, say you've got a big, long, thin brush, and I don't know if you've noticed, but I can do up a quick, let's do something a little brighter. Okay, green and orange does not make bright color, that makes a poop color. Good to know, good to know. Add some yellow, brighten that up a little bit, maybe add a little bit more yellow. See what happens when I add some red. I think it's kind of like an interesting orange. So let's say I needed to do some detail work. I can push the top button on the right hand. And look at my hand. The shake is gone. Like this is my normal hand. Apparently I shake a lot because I'm trying to hold it still and it is very shaky. Push the top button. My hand's still shaking, but the brush is not. So if you were doing, trees, isn't this how he does his trees? Or flowers or something? And then maybe one of these to do isn't that how he does it? To do his big branches and leaves and stuff. But if I were to do this without or with B, much more precise as to where I want to put these little, without it, my hand is like a shaking fiddle. And that's just because I shake. There's not much I can do about that. Look at that. I'm an artist. I tell you. Oops. I don't want that. I want that one. And let's do the same color. Now, I can push the B button. Look how much more steady my hand becomes. Like, that's crazy. Did you notice the autosave? Another function I was hoping would pop up. Every once in a while, I think it's every 2 or 3 minutes or something, it autosaves your work. So you know, if your headset dies or your controllers die or whatever, you take off your headset to go have supper and you forget to save your work, it'll do it for you. All right, that gives you a little bit of the basic rundown on how Vermillion works. The customizations, I can even still grab this and change this if I decide I change my mind, I want to make a small print. Like, it's ridiculous. I haven't figured out what this does, but we'll figure that out. This, the menu system. This is amazing. So these are pre-works that you can go into and use. You can see my autosave, my last masterpiece. And these 4 images come with it. You can load these up just by clicking on them. Ta-da! And now you can edit this if you want, or play around with it, add to the drawing, make it your own. I think that's pretty cool. Again, you know, I'm bumping into my roof, so I can't reach that button. But I can grab this, and grab this maybe? Oh no, I can grab these ones. Bring it down so that I can grab this window, and make it smaller. So many options to make this customizable. It blows my mind every time I come in here to adjust things. And look at the wheels that spin and the mechanics in this. Like, it's not just a growing table. It actually has mechanics to make it grow. And this one has mechanics to make it bend and lay down. I'm just blown away. So back to the menu. So that's the save menu where you can save paintings, look at new paintings, pull up an existing artwork if you want to, you know, go back to a piece of art, like my yesterday's drawing. Look at all these autosaves during the day or during that time when I was creating. So we can load this up and you can see that I was testing brush strokes and trying to get a feel for everything Vermillion has to offer. So that's safe. Palette. We have 2 different types of palettes. We have, if you're a little bit more advanced painter, you can select the palette on the right. It only gives you 4 primary colors, which then you have tons of room to make your own colors. You can resize the palettes to make them smaller if you want to leave it smaller in your hand. Again, this can be picked up and all done live. Or the more advanced palette, or more simple palette, I guess, has more colors already kind of done out for you. Same thing, you can make this as big or as small as you want. Amazing. I keep forgetting to click. There we go. Let me bring this up a little bit. So that's palettes. You can even save a palette if you want to create your own palette. Say you had custom colors that you made on the small one, and you have a whole row of custom colors that you made that you like to use all the time. Save it, and then you don't have to recreate those every time you come into the game. Layers. This is very much like Photoshop, where you can do your base layer and think, okay, now I want to try some trees, so let's go to layer 2, and I want to paint some more things, but I don't want to screw up everything that I've already done. You use the layers. But this just helps you with customizing the work without the risk of ruining things that you've already accomplished. Great feature, right? Now the biggest feature that I like is this top one. And it is direct access to YouTube, where you can sign in and use your own account. You don't have to sign in if you don't want to. And you can use any YouTube video you want, including
Bob Ross.
And we're on the Bob Ross channel. So you can literally paint along with the legend and do what he's doing. And I want to do some water down here. Okay, how do you do that? Mine doesn't look anything like his. There we go. Yeah. Click on the video, pauses the video so you can try what it is he's telling you to do. Click again, video keeps going. Small little add-on feature to this, but freaking brilliant. If you are already a painter, maybe you don't need to follow along with Bob Ross. You could pull up Q2C VR Gamer and watch one of our live podcasts while you're painting. That is cool. You can even project it right onto the canvas. So if you wanted to copy along with Mr. Bob Ross, you could put the YouTube video directly over top and follow him along exactly. Brilliant. You can even create bookmarks, paint along bookmarks. They already have a bunch in here. These are pre-loaded by them. Painting with Robin in Vermillion. So this is a tutorial of how to paint inside the app. Great little, it's an hour long. You could sit here and learn how to draw or how to paint this bird inside the game with the palette. Follow him along exactly as if he was standing right beside you inside the game. Load up the giant palette. There you are, with the same guy. In the settings windows, we have all kinds of different things. The sensitivity of mixing on the canvas, they recommend to leave it there, so that's where I've left it. Paint thickness, this is paint thickness that ends up on the canvas, so if you want it thicker or thinner, you can thin it out yourself, or you can have this thin it out for you. A plethora of languages that you can play the game in. You can change the look of the space that you're in, from the manor to this beautifully giant loft. Give you more of a modern artsy feel. And also you have pass-through. This will just show black for you, but for me, I can see my family room. So that's kind of neat. And the easel's sitting on the carpet. I can see everything in my house. Brush pressure indicator, this is a haptic feedback. And show brush names, that's when you hover over top of these brushes, it tells you what they are. If you didn't want that, you could turn that off. Controllers, at the very beginning when you first get in, it asks you if you're left or right-handed. If you screw that up, you can come into controllers and switch it. And same with audio. There's ambient noise, there's like a thunderstorm going on right now. I don't mind it, but you can turn the ambient noise completely off. Like I said, I would leave it on personally. It's not like it's crazy music or anything. It's like birds chirping and stuff. And brush volume. Whether or not you want to actually hear it smack the canvas, I definitely want to hear that noise. And this I haven't figured out how to do yet, but from the gallery, there's a way to print, save, and share your content, things you've painted. Okay, so the share on Facebook button works. It uses the Facebook account that's logged into your Oculus. It gives you the options to share to the public, share privately, share to only you, and dumps an image of whatever it is you're currently creating onto Facebook. There you go. You can see it's going to post to my Facebook page, only for me. You can edit this. I just painted in Vermillion. And there's a studio look of the painting in a studio. Gallery look is just a picture, no background. And neutral look, same thing, no background. And you can change all these. Who can see your post, share it where, you can share it to a group, to a Facebook page, to your own timeline, and whether or not you want other people to see it. You could pick only me, that way you could go in and download it and then print it or do something else with it as well. Alright guys, well that's it for this video. This has been a intro look into Vermillion, the new painting app on the Oculus Store. And I am just finishing up my little masterpiece here, which I am pleasantly calling Pink Flamingo Having Lunch, even though it might be a pelican. But remember, click that subscribe button, like the video, make sure you hit that bell so that you can find out when we drop new content, when we go live, and you don't want to miss our Thursday night podcasts. So I'll have product descriptions link descriptions for the game down in the description. Make sure you leave a comment down below and let me know whether or not you would take part in a painting day with Vermillion. The whole YouTube functionality to me is an extra draw where you can actually, those interested in learning how to do this, it makes it so much easier than just coming into a painting app and trying to figure it out yourself. And for those of you that are, good painters like myself with this beautiful flamingo, you can hit this little eyeball button and make all that go away so that you're just focused on the work that you're doing. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you on the next video.